Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of This Week in AI. Ton of stuff this week. We have a SpaceX IPO and Elon is a trillionaire. Some new stuff from Apple. Claude Fable 5, the latest LLM model and the best one thus far. Some interesting stuff from OpenAI and more. So catch it all here. First of all, SpaceX, it IPO'd last week on Friday. It was the biggest IPO ever. Elon's net worth passed $1 trillion. SpaceX is valued at like $2 trillion. Pretty incredible. So as it relates to AI, SpaceX actually released some renderings that show their plans for what they're calling an AI satellite. This thing is going to be massive. They're basically putting tons of NVIDIA chip racks on the satellite. It's going to be floating in space. It's going to be 100% powered by the sun. It is one of the big reasons why SpaceX has reached this valuation, because if they can successfully provide AI compute and data centers via space satellites, there's a ton of value there. So stay tuned for more on that, but pretty big developments and announcements from the SpaceX team. Congrats to Elon, hit $1 trillion. Not to be outdone, but kind of, Jeff Bezos announced last week also that he just launched an AI startup called Prometheus and raised $12 billion for it. And he said, we're not being secretive, even though I and pretty much nobody had heard anything about it until a few days ago. But anyway, it is a brand new company, AI startup launched by Jeff Bezos. I don't know, he might be the second, third, fourth most rich person in the world. And what he says is Prometheus is developing a set of AI tools to help engineers design and manufacture physical products easier and faster. So they are taking a little bit of different spin from all these other AI companies, which I think is interesting. And so it'll be fun to see that company as it develops. And they raised 12 billion. So I would assume the valuation is, I don't know, approaching 100 billion or something like that. But the physical aspect of this is going to be interesting. I'm sure there's going to be overlap with robotics and having AI chips power robots to do some of these physical tasks. Anyway, we'll see what Bezos has up his sleeve here. Okay, next. So Apple had an event where they released all their newest stuff with their operating system and their software and all that kind of stuff. And they are revamping Siri entirely. They're making it kind of come down from the little top bubble. If you have an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. And it will be fully integrated into your entire operating system on your phone. Right now, it's going to be powered by Gemini, but that is subject to change. And it's going to be like a true personal assistant and have full context of everything: your text, your emails, your calendar, photos, all the apps you use. So Apple's ability to roll this out to users is obviously unlike any other company in the world. They have billions of users that have their phones. I don't know exactly the amount, but they will be able to deploy this very quickly and get feedback and data also very quickly. So they might finally be entering the AI race in a smart, powerful way. So we'll see. I'm excited to get my hands on it. And this little graph right here kind of shows how they're thinking about how everything works together with their new AI, which you can kind of look closer to see what all these words are. But this is their vision, and it's going to be interesting to see as they roll it out, which will be soon. So stay tuned for that. Okay, another new release from Higgsfield. I talked about Higgsfield a lot. Higgsfield has a new integration with Claude Fable 5, which I'll get to in a second. With this new feature, you can make your own game with Higgsfield via Claude Fable 5 through their MCP in the supercomputer option that Higgsfield offers. So you can basically prompt to vibe code video games now. I have not made one yet. I will make one by next video and release it just for fun. Maybe I'll just put it on my own phone and let my kids play with it. Pretty powerful stuff. You can see that what AI is starting to unleash, especially as the graphics and video continue to improve. The sky is the limit here. There's going to be entire games and movies that are going to be made with AI that's already happening, and it's just going to keep getting better. So you can see all the stuff here that looks quite impressive, and you wouldn't even know that AI made it. It looks like any other video game to me. So anyway, pretty impressive. Okay, so Claude Fable 5, I actually already made another video or two about this. I can link to that below. But Claude Fable 5 is here. It is amazing. It is the rumored Mythos model that we've been talking about on this little show of mine for months. And so they finally released it. And it is the most powerful model to date. It is super capable at one-shotting projects, prompts. You don't have to give it as much direction. You can let it work for days at a time. It spins up hundreds of agents all working in tandem. Token costs, it does use more tokens than previous models, so you need to stay cognizant of that. But it is for sure the best AI model I have ever seen. So if you haven't started using using it yet, I would highly recommend you do so. It is super impressive and very useful. So you can see here, Claude Fable 5 or Mythos 5, in regards to the benchmarks, it pretty much blows everything else out of the water. Very, very powerful. And they added some like safety guardrails from like a cybersecurity standpoint to make it more safe for general use. And Andrej Karpathy, he's one of the founders of OpenAI, who's at Anthropic now, and he shared some more information about how they're continuing to iterate on Fable 5. But anyway, it's very, very impressive. Like I said, it broke all the benchmarks. Its taste and attention to detail are off the charts. It uses context very well. It can remember things better than any other model and make the right decisions more often than any other model I've seen. It's great for power users, and it's in the regular Claude plan. They're going to switch it to API pricing soon, but I would start experimenting with it now. Also, loops, the like /loops command works really well with Fable 5, as does /goal, where basically you outline the project, give it the goal, and it'll just work for a day or two until that goal is complete. Okay, so Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, he wrote a blog post about their plan to benefit everyone, just sort of like bigger picture thinking on how OpenAI is going to approach AI in the world, basically, and they have this whole plan. But the most interesting part that I thought is two things. A, they want to give every person their personal AGI, artificial general intelligence. They want to give every single human that. What that means as of now, to be determined. But I thought that was an interesting takeaway from this blog post. Also, he said that they're entering the third phase. So the first phase was like approaching AGI. The second phase was deploying systems and learning how people use them and making progress towards AGI. And then he says, and I'll read what he said. He says, now we're entering the third phase. The economy is beginning to reshape around AI. The central question now is how to make advanced AI abundant, affordable, safe, useful, and easy enough for every person and organization to benefit from it. So he's saying that that is OpenAI's core focus going forward. I thought that was interesting. Also, there are rumors that OpenAI is going to like drastically cut its costs, perhaps to compete better with Anthropic as they both approach an IPO. So we'll see about that. Not to be outdone by Sam Altman, Dario Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, also wrote a blog post about AI exponential and having a policy around continuous improvement with AI, and how basically he's advocating that we should slow down the progress and put more regulation and public safety guardrails around AI because it's so incredible. He also wants to build in some macroeconomics and tax policies around everything that's happening with AI, and wants to further focus on accelerating AI's positive impact on the world and not maybe just displacing tons of jobs or whatever. So anyway, both of the founders thinking big picture here. We'll see what happens, but it's always interesting to see the words from their mouth. So last thing of the day, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, announced that the organization has a new plan and commitment to help 300,000 American workers get the skills they need for the in-demand trades that are increasing as a result of AI and data centers. So it's nice to see that they're funneling more money into these, more traditionally blue-collar jobs. And Meta announced a similar thing last week, and I think we're going to see more and more of this. So it's nice to see their focus on blue-collar economy with everything that they're doing. That's all for this week on This Week in AI. Hopefully you learned something. Dive into Fable 5 for sure, and have a great week.